Hey there YouTube fans, AC Productions here, and today I'm going to be showing you on how to apply some wheel decals and to make your rims on your motorcycle to look a little bit more racy. Now I know what you guys are saying, but Alfonso, you already did a how to do a decal on your rims on the R3. Yes, that will be this guys right here, but I'm going to show you in this video something a little bit different on what I'm planning to do with the GSXR wheels. So everything is pretty much going to be somewhat the same, but just a tad bit different. And let me show you the things that you need to do to apply these decals to your wheels. And let's get started. So pretty much first things first, obviously my wheels are super dirty. You can see there's a lot of dust. I never even cleaned it since I bought the bike. First things first, we're going to need a bucket of soapy water and a washcloth or a spongy or whatever, because we need to make sure that we clean the wheels. I know in the past I've shown videos on how to use Goo Gone to clean your wheels, but really you need to actually wash your wheels before you apply the Goo Gone to really get all that stuff off. If your wheels are really messed up, soap and water first, then the Goo Gone, and your wheels should be good. But in this case, we're just going to be washing the wheels with the soap and water, let it dry, and then we're going to be applying the decals. So besides the soap and water here, I'm going to go ahead and start with the back tire because I have the bike stand on it, and I'll be able to freely spin the wheel as I wash it. After that, I'll show you how to apply the decals, and pretty much what I'm going to do in the back is going to be pretty much what I'm going to be doing in the front. Just the only difference is that the wheel in the front will be a lot skinnier compared to the one in the back. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and wash my wheel. You guys do the same. If you have some dirty wheels, if you don't have dirty wheels, go ahead and skip this part of the video. I'm not actually going to show you, but I'll show you what to do next. All right, my wheel is finally clean after all of this time. All right, guys, so the next tool you're going to need is going to be a heat gun. Now, the reasons for the heat gun is because we want to make sure that the decals are very pliable, and if in case you happen to have an air bubble, with the heat gun, you'll be able to press that bubble out. All right, so you could do this installation one of two ways. Actually, one of three ways if you want to count it. You could actually install every single decal that's on the sheet on your wheels, or you could kind of customize it, is what I want to do. You know, you could put almost all of them except for these name or the name of the stickers or whatever, the decals on your wheel. What I'm going to do for mine, as you can see, my bike is pretty much black and red. I have some parts, you know, some accents of red around the bike. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to install or apply the white part of the decal. I'm only going to be using the red. So for me, and I'm only going to use it on two parts. I'm not really going to do all four. As you can see, there's four here, four here. I'm only going to actually apply two. So like I said, when the wheel's spinning, if I have all this on there, it's going to look unison. So it's look you'll see the sticker, but it doesn't have that look that I'm looking for. So like I said, I'm only going to apply two decals. So the red ones I'm going to be using, and the one strip of the red, I'm going to put one on the top of the rim and then one at the bottom. And those are going to be the two locations only. So top and bottom for me, that's it. And then for this part, obviously we have the fatter decals are for the rear, the skinnier ones are for the front. And that's going to be all of the decals I'll be applying. So I'm going to go ahead and let me get started with one so you guys could see what I'm doing, and then I'll show you the part that's going to be more tedious. All right, so I already got the decals out of the plastic, and you could see they're actually labeled, which is pretty cool. So if you're not too sure what goes where, this is just kind of you know, just to give you a little bit of like instructions really on how to apply it. You can see this one says rear right, rear left, front left. Now honestly, you guys could follow the instructions on how to apply it like this if you want to use it in that order, or you can pretty much do what you want and just apply it however you want, really. So I'm kind of looking for a particular way of doing it. I want when the wheel enters, it's going to be a lot of lines, and then when it leaves, it'll be less lines. So what I mean is, if you see, it has a lot of lines and then less lines. So for the rear wheel, I'll have it pretty much this way. A lot of lines, and then it's going to leave with less lines. So again, you could do it how you want. I'm just kind of showing you what I'm doing with mine. I'm going to start off with the wheel towards the bottom, and I'm going to start with the valve stem area. All right, so for me, I'm going to go ahead and apply this particular rim decal on the back right side, pretty much where the exhaust is at, because when I want the wheel, when it's coming in as rotating, I want it to start with the line and finishing up with the checkered flag. So it's going to go like this when it turns around and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or you could install it this way, where it starts with the checkered flag first and then goes with the line. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. So just go ahead and peel it. I really don't have any nails too much. Let's see if I can get it with, oh, there we go. Just fold it and it kind of comes off, as you can see right there. there. There it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this off, and you make sure you want to do this carefully. There we go. Make sure you don't drop this on the floor, because once you drop it on the floor, forget about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the camera out of my way, because the camera is on my way, and I'm gonna apply the decal right the lip of the rim, and I'm gonna try to center it as much as I can accordance to the valve stem. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it, and then I'll show you how it looks like, and then I'll show you what to do next. Alright guys, I just figured go mobile. It'll be a lot easier for me to control the camera and not have to worry about the tripod. Alright guys, I moved the wheel just a little bit so you guys could see it. So what I did is that I got the decal, and this edge part I try to line it up with the spoke. So the edge lined up with that spoke, and then you go over here, line it following over here, and then this edge with that spoke. So when you do that, it should be completely centered. Alright, so now that I got that part done, now I'm going to go ahead and turn the wheel so that the valve stem is located up here. So I'll go ahead and do that. On the Gixxer we have pretty much even amount of spokes, I would say. Those two right there is pretty much going to be the same as these two down here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the second red decal strip right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys do the same. Alright, I already finished that one. As you can see, I lined it up, the edge here with that spoke and the edge over here with that spoke. As you're pressing it, if you feel like you mess up, just go ahead and peel it off a little bit and then realign it and stick it. Once you got it on there, just go ahead and press it with your finger really good and tight, and to get all those air bubbles out if you happen to have any. So far I haven't had the need to use the heat gun just yet. Oh, a little paint chip right there. Oh, we'll get that taken care of soon. Alright, so now that this part is done, now I'm going to go ahead and rotate the wheel until I get the valve stem again. Oh, there it is. Alright, so next I'm going to apply the other decal that's going to go on this lip area or this surface. And I'm going to be applying, let me get this one right here. Actually, just go right there. So I'm going to be applying this one, the one that says rear right, because when I have the wheel spin, when it reaches, let's see, if it's going to go this way, as it's rotating going this way, I'm going to have the whole bunch of lines, and it's going to fade away with less lines. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this one. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to align it with either with this decal here, so it could be all like one, so it kind of looks like, you know, all one decal. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let me do it so then you guys could see how it looks like and what I'm talking about. All right guys, I got my headlight on my head, as you could see, and pretty much I got it down here. You want to make sure when you're doing your line that you're staying consistent on the spacing. You don't want it to go from really separated to like really close to really separated, because it's not going to look when the wheel is spinning. So one way to check is just put your focus on a point on the wheel, like right there. I'm going to focus there, and I'm just going to go ahead and spin it to make sure that the line is consistent. Once you're satisfied, then you can just go ahead and start pressing on it, because you haven't pressed it in all the way. I'm still working on it. Just go ahead and press it really firmly all the way through, and then keep on going further in and further in, pressing on it. This would eliminate any bubbles as you're doing it, and if need be, you need to readjust it. You can right now, because it's still not fully cured on the bike or on the wheel. Alright, so this is pretty much on how it looks like. Now you're gonna have to do a lot of pressing, because once you get to that curve, it's not gonna want to go easily, so you got to do a lot of pressing really hard. And then pretty much at the end I had to use the heat gun. So when you use the heat gun, here it is, you're just gonna put it on high heat and just kind of go on a sweeping motion, just to get the decal a little bit more on the warm side, to get all the air bubbles out. You'll feel it, and you'll notice that the air bubbles are gonna start to come out once you start really pressing really hard on it. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So this part's already done. So you see it's looking really good. And this is going to be the only decal I'll be doing on this side. When I go to the other side, it's going to be the same one, but on the opposite side. I'm not going to be applying any more decals on this part of the wheel, only this one that's already there, that I already put on there. But that's it for this face part. All right, so now let's go to the other side and put that wheel decal on. And then guys, pretty much what I'm doing here in the back is really going to be the same thing in the front. So there's no need to really show you what I'm going to be doing in the front, because it'll be the same. Alrighty, everything is already set on this side. I used a little bit of the heat gun to begin with, just to get this a little bit more pliable. And what I did over here is I just kind of lined it up with this one to kind of make like a point, and then obviously it just kind of tapers off there. So everything is nice and looks good. Let me just get a top view there. So as I'm riding, the wheel comes in and go for here, and it starts with a lot of lines and finishes with less lines. All right, so that's pretty much done for this one. Oh, I still gotta apply for myself. I still gotta apply the other side, but pretty much I already got it here. I already got those decals there. So next for me, I just gotta apply the one down here on the lip. Pretty much you're just copying what you did on one side to the other side. Alrighty, so that part is already done right over here, and it's looking good. Sorry guys that my light's really strong and it's kind of making everything, all the red look kind of white. All right guys, now here comes, let me turn this off actually a little bit so you guys could really see. All right, so now here comes the very tedious part of this kind of application, I would say, is I'm gonna go ahead and black out all of the factory wheel pinstriping because I don't want that part to be shown. All I want when the wheel is rotating to be shown is going to be this one, pretty much the decals I just applied. This one on the top, this one right here on the flat surface of the wheel. Everything else I want to be blacked out. So to do this, so it's gonna be a Testors paint pen number 2547. And it's gonna be all black. I think it has a little bit of a gloss to it so it could actually match the wheel. Let me go ahead and show you how to apply this. And like I said, it's gonna be very tedious on actually blacking everything out, as you're not gonna be able to just kind of mark it like a marker to actually paint the line. Because if you do that, all you're doing is gonna be smudging the paint. So let's go give it a little bit of a shake. And what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be just pressing on it. Because let me show you what happens if you just kind of mark it. See, the paint is kind of not really even. So you're just gonna have to dab it really to get a little bit more better coverage. So this is gonna be a lot of little dabbing to get all this blacked out. So this is the only paintable part of the process. While I go ahead and do that, if you guys want to do the same, go ahead and do it. You may want to make sure you have your good music playing, because this part is actually going to take a long time. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on blacking out all the parts that I don't want to be seen. Then I'll show you how everything looks like at the end. Alright guys, I figured I'd do a little time-lapse video of myself doing the tedious coloring of red pinstripes, the original one. So here's a little quick preview. As you can see, it's very tedious, and luckily I did do a little time-lapse video because I'm sure you wouldn't want to see me doing this for a couple hours. Anyhow, alright, so here is the final product right here. You can see everything is already blacked out, and the only things that are going to be seen is going to be the new decals that I already installed or applied, as you could see. And it's looking really good. Alright, there we go. And then this part right here, which is going to be the only one right here. So when the wheel spins, more of a decal going around in circles than, you know, having a bunch of how the pinstriping was from the factory, where even there was like 4 or 5 of them on there. And when it spins, it kind of just looks like one decal on the wheel. I didn't want that. I wanted to break it up so that way it looks like there's something there. Can't wait to see how this is going to look. I'll probably get the 360 camera and, you know, use the selfie stick and put it away from me so you guys can see how the wheel looks like when it's actually rotating. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it for the back end. Now I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same process but in the front. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys do the same. Like I said, it's pretty much the exact same thing I just did here in the back. It's going to be the same for the front. Same process. Nothing has changed. There's nothing different. The only thing that's different is pretty much the thickness of the decal. For the front is going to be just a little bit more narrow compared to like the back was much more wider. Other than that, everything else is the same. Alright, so once I get done, I'll show you the final results. Alrighty guys, I'm finally done. That's like the only part I don't like about my own installs is that tedious, you know, blacking out of the pinstriping. But other than that, it came out fantastic. It looks really good. You can see all blacked out there, and the only thing showing is the decals that I applied. So when the wheel does spin, you could see that there's decals there and not just one complete unison of a strip. So that's the back. Let me go ahead and show you the front. I had to use my front stand to jack up the wheel so I could actually, you know, get this done without having to move the bike constantly off of the kickstand. See, all blacked out, and only the decals, as you could see, installed. So that looks good there on both sides. I'm not sure you could see that on both ends. Looking really good. Alright guys, that pretty much concludes this video. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, smash that like button. If you haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you guys are up to date with my latest uploads. If you know anyone else that's looking to do something a little bit different with their wheel decals, please share my video. It helps me out to let me know that you guys are appreciating the content and also helping out a friend. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you dislike this video, please smash that dislike button. Let me know in the comments below what you disliked about it, so I could improve for future content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.